I'm excited to once again cast this, and I'll be cutting out the other part of it. I'm HX9, joined by Sunhawk. What's up?
Hello. We don't get paid enough to use the right overlays, but we are here because we want to entertain, so we're going to do just that. The last match was pretty good versus Kings Row, Desperados versus Livid. Desperados did take the map, but it was still a good game. Baby Ultra and Pills getting that Zarya Hanzo ultimate combo. It was a good match.
Yeah, ultimately, I'm pretty happy with how that went. I would say, though, on the Livid side, what I think we need to see here is, just a little bit better regrouping. They're having a little bit of trouble there, where they're kind of going in a little bit too soon after they... So basically, here's the way I saw it, okay? End of point A. Point A is captured. Desperados pushing in. Livid wins the fight, but they've taken a lot of casualties. I think at that point they really needed to fall back because it was 6 at that point with the regroup on the Desperado side, v maybe 4 on the Livid side. That's just not enough. They got run over. All right, well, next up is Gibraltar.
I will be right back in the next 2 minutes. So, sorry for that.
I'll fill time here.
Yes,
I'm good at talking, as it turns out.
If they even start the game, that would... So good luck with that.
So, yeah, Gibraltar. The combination of dive and non-dive teams on this is what makes this very interesting. Oftentimes, dive is very cool on the first point, on even both offense and defense. Sometimes, though, people run a little less dive on defense. Gives you a little opportunity to have some brawler moments on the payload. Leave your Widowmaker to take care of the other Widowmaker. Very famous for Widowmakers on this first point. Then when you get inside, dive is good on defense, a little less good on offense. Unless you're trying to get up on top of the spaceship, but sometimes the spaceship not really available. So good to just brawl the point, get past the spaceship, and then you don't have to worry too much about Widowmaker after that. So it's a very varied map, I think, on terms of tanks, the dive versus not dive combos. Healers, not so much. A lot of mercies right now in the meta. So I'm interested to see how that plays out going into this next scrim match. Desperados took the Kings Hill map. Now, if you're watching the YouTube video of this one, you're not going to see that Kings Hill map, Kings Row map, King of the Hill map, haha. Kings Row map, because, a little bit of production error there. So, hopefully this one I do a little bit better on. All right, but we're going to push in here. Going to check out the next match here. I think we swapped some players here. Toad for Sauce. So Toad of War came in here.
Okay, hello.
Hello. So it looks like Toad swapped in for Sausage. Sausage was that the gold player, and Toad is a diamond player. I think maybe Sausage was just kind of filling in. I'll have to see.
Probably on that last second fill-in.
Wasn't doing a bad job, though, honestly. I mean...
I couldn't tell who the gold player was. I didn't remember their name. So, he was doing fine.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes, these things don't come down to... Again, we talked about this before, but since I sullied that video, let's talk about it a little bit again. How much does rank matter? Rank is a tricky topic when you're talking about scrims, because I think it reflects more of a mechanical skill than a team-building skill, because the ladder has less of that team-building in it.
I think ladder represents a positivity and solo carry skill. How much you can stay positive and not solo carry, how consistent you are. The more consistent you are, the higher you will climb. And, of course, you gotta stay positive we're going to be hopping right into the Watch Point Gibraltar. What are your opinions on the latter skill set compared to the scrim skill set?
Well, I have to say, you know, with ladder, you can be that hero tracer jumping in the back lines and just murdering everybody. You can be that hero mercy that picks the right targets to heal, that guy that overextended, you know, you keep him up. You can really excel as an individual player in a game. But once you get into scrims, once you get into games for tournaments and whatnot, you've got to play with your team in a lot of cases. Your team has to have a coordinated effort, because if you do things like that, it's not just going to be 2, 3, maybe 4 people trying to punish you for that mistake. You're going to have all 6 of those people turn in. You're that Winston that dives in, hits point A, you know, and you're all by yourself. It's not just going to be that Reaper that, you know, well, not Reaper. When do we ever see Reaper? It's not just going to be that Widowmaker that turns around and starts shooting you. It's going to be everybody. So that's where I see things. Sometimes you can't really make those risky plays in scrims.
Yeah, and scrims, you have to work as a team, especially in this meta with, well, I don't think we may not see a Brigitte on this map, but in this meta of Rhine Zarya on most maps, we will see double sniper trying to burst through that healing. Just gotta play as a team. Everything will be okay. And let's get into this.
All right, it looks like we are seeing the double sniper on the defense, and on the offense, we're seeing Pharah. Very interesting pick into this.
Pharah tries to boot the tank line off the high ground, but they cannot. It seems that Livid are running that dive comp. Eva does get D-mech, so she's basically out of the fight unless she can re-get her mech. But as I say that, Awesome Bash is there to equalize it. Awesome Bash does get sniped by that fire strike. They're pressuring Baby Ultra with that who is on that Hanzo, trying to knock him off that high ground and get in a better position. But Baby Ultra is there to punish that Pharah. And that's going to get res. This is a very long and drawn out fight. Baby D.Va Reaping is still not in his mech.
He got picked out of that pretty early, so he's trying to find an opportunity there to get it back, but there's not much he can shoot at. There, it finally gets back now.
And Wolfer, as soon as he gets back in that mech, Awesome Bash gets taken out on that Genji. Awesome Bash going right back to that Widow. Reaping seems to be low and is out of the mech again. He seems to be playing really over-aggressive as Pills finishes him off. Pray for GGs and perfectly trading for their respective teams. Pills built by perfectly.
Yeah, I think that was, you know, it all comes down to, like you said, a little bit of over-aggression on Reaping's part there. Losing that mech, but also he's kind of against a bad comp for his mech. It's hard to use your defense matrix against double sniper, as you can't really absorb the big damage and wait for another thing. Their damage is a little too consistent. So this dive really just needs to get on that back line a little quicker. If they're going to overextend with your DPS.
Wolfer, I'm going to have to ask you to give him one 1v1 win. Like, you're just destroying him. The res does come through, but still, every time it's Wolfer picking off Awesome Bash in the beginning. Wolfer and OFZ going with that Valve, both popping their ults. Transcendence being popped in that Grav Dragon Strike combo. The Mercy is dead and cannot damage boost it, so therefore they're not going to get any kills out of that. Perfectly an Awesome Bash cleaning up. This should be a one fight for Livid, as it's just the tanks in the small corridor to no support. Transcendence does come through though. This could be a stall attempt. Hammer down, getting 3. This could have a chance, but there's 4 of them there. It's a 4-on-5 Law picking off 2, perfectly getting another. That's going to be the fight.
Yeah, great hammer down there at the end, but Garlic didn't have really enough health there to finish that off. He was able to take the Mercy down, but couldn't get back to the Zenyatta. I think they had enough healing because of that. Also, that doorway, man. It's hard to get through that doorway. And although Wolf found a way around, you know, the rest of the team not really able to fly.
Perfectly with that 3K to clean up. Very clean. I'm sorry, I'll leave I know my jokes aren't appreciated, but the thing was with that last fight that they had to expend all their ults, but they switched anyway. There you go, Awesome Bash. Finally getting that kill on Wolfer, and Toad of War sniping the enemy Zenyatta perfectly, just clean it up. That should be an easy fight win for Livid. After a super long and drawn out fight, if you look at the Alt Academy for Livid, just look at those almost six ults.
Yeah, their ults are pretty effective here too. Interested to see if there are any swaps. Looks like there's, we've had the counter dive from the defense here. But ultimately, Awesome just had a great position there to take out Wolfer. And Snipe sealed it, though, from Toad of War.
The dagger. Dragon Strike popped from spawn, trying to pick off that Mercy with their own Infrasight. Dragon Blade was... no, he switched. Sorry, he switched to Genji. I saw that 0, and I thought he popped his Dragon Blade. But, you know, I'm the noob. Let's Primal Rage pop by perfectly. It seems that they're going to invest a lot into this fight. Let's see it. Awesome Bash misses a shot. Hits a shot on Pills. Hits a shot on Mercy. Wolfer takes out Awesome Bash perfectly. Pills pray for G. That was not a fast blade. That was a safe blade. The Law getting one. Both Diva Bombs are popped perfectly. Seems to be playing out of his mind with these picks.
Yep, they're going to have to stall here. It's going to be a little bit brutal on that, but ultimately what came down there too was Awesome Bash had a great angle on Wolfer there. And although he got taken out by Wolfer, he took out the Mercy. That sealed this up. But not quite done deal yet.
Not quite done. That res perfectly. Let's pick off kills in the Baby Diva. Awesome Bash picking off Refugee perfectly. Is popping off, pushing everyone off that point with his Primal Rage. Perfectly has had an amazing round. He is on fire, and he deserves to be.
He's opening up space, and ultimately he is appearing on the kill feed, but I have to say, even though he's the guy appearing on the kill feed, that's kind of a little bit of a luck thing, you know, he's kind of hit some of those people in the back, but the fact is, he's still on fire for a reason, and that is because he is creating that space. Awesome Bash just not getting hindered there. And we saw earlier, you know, Wolfer was taking Awesome Bash out in the 1v1s when it was kind of a, we'll just say, quote, fair fight in this point A of Gibraltar. But once he got that space opened up for him, Awesome Bash was just free firing, and, you know, that was part of it. Also, Toad of War, let's send some credit his way, too. Not only did he open up the second point by getting that follow-up pick, I mean, Wolfer went down early, but that wasn't the end of it. Toad of War just sealed the deal with his pick on point 2. But also, he's just getting, the Discords are comboing really well. That's why you see perfectly on the kill feed. Discord plus Winston shot is a lot of opportunities to see that final blow.
I'm just checking real quick. Did you take down the overlay?
Oh yeah, it's down.
Okay.
That was visible.
Okay.
We got a game.
Just checking. Okay, as you were saying, guys, Toad of War. Was Toad of War the sub for?
Yeah, Toad of War subbed
Sausage.
in for.
Okay,
Sausage,
yes,
yeah.
that makes sense. Because we saw, I don't know. Okay, so Toad of War has been taking out Pray for GGs very often. Like, if he has to 1v1, he won. I think they went up against each other 3 times. He won every time. And that could have been the difference in King Row if Toad of War was there. But he wasn't. That was a coaching decision. Toad of War might have not been able to have been there because of time. But you never know. And let's get this game underway.
All right, let's see what happens here. This is going to be a slow push on the payload. You got a dive versus a kind of half dive, half not dive on the defense here. Interested to see how that works out.
Got a Reinhardt on the high ground. They're all on the high ground, trying to give Awesome Bash as much space against Wolfer. Let's see if Awesome Bash can get some picks. Baby Ultra picking off Law in that 1v1 with the Mercy support. Garlic Bread diving on top of Toad of War, and then on top of Awesome Bash, who was one, finished off by Pills. And it seems that Livid is going to lose this fight. It's sloppy, but it seems that Livid is losing it. Desperados won the fight and got the point. And now it's just stagger of this baby diva.
That was just a little bit of a mishap on Livid's part for falling back. They didn't fall back fast enough, kind of left their Reinhardt perfectly out in the open. So ultimately, when he was out of position, everyone else ended up out of position. And yeah, it's a cleanup job at that point. Got to be careful. Healers only have a limited amount of heals that they can throw out. There just weren't enough there to keep them up.
And as we see everyone trying to cram into a spaceship, only Winston can go up, people. We're going to see Awesome Bash get one on Wolfer, and it seems that Livid are in that backline on that Mercy, but Winston does peel back, and they're able to save her. She was getting very low. Pills and demeching, reaping. Awesome Bash is back up and ready to get some kills. Garlic Bread landing on perfectly. Pills taking out everyone, killing their counterparts. Awesome Bash taking out Genji, but it's not going to be enough. The res is there, and he's in a sniper duel with. He was in a sniper duel with Wolfer, but backed away. And Wolfer kills him with the Venom Mine.
Yeah, Livid didn't give their team an opportunity, their ranged players, Total War or Awesome Batch, really any angles there that they could work with because of where they engaged. So when they got caught under that spaceship, and you even saw it from Perfectly Winston Leap, and I'm kind of whiffing the camera here, there we go. But you saw it from Winston Leap, he got kind of stuck under there. So you got to be careful where you engage, but it's always should be based on your comp.
And it seems that Pills has already opened up this fight, getting 3, knocking Awesome Bash off the map. He gets 3. Wolfer did fall, but was rezzed. And look at the ults. There are so many ults on the field. It's insane. This is going to be a very messy last point. Dragon Blade pop, Transcendence pop in response. That means nothing's going to happen. Code of War is getting low and maybe forced to pop that Transcendence. But Awesome Bash taking out Wolfer perfectly, holding up in that front line by himself. He doesn't seem to have any support with him. They're all trying to kill Garlic Bread in the back line, which they did. And now they're going to make a move forward, pushing back Desperado, who did invest a Primal Rage and a Transcendence.
Yeah, the Pray for GG had an excellent job ulting there, catching the Law very quickly, and ultimately, you know, Garlic Bread maybe a little bit too far, trying to open up space in the wrong place. Need to kind of deal with that Widow.
Yeah, Pray for GG's getting that snipe since he's free with Garlic Bread diving in on the Law. Now on the Brigitte, switching off the Genji after the Transcendence. And it seems that Livid are all grouped up, and that seems like a perfect time for a Dragon Blade. Pray for GG, taking out Law, preventing him from picking, and that's a Shattered Bomb combo. That's 2. It's a messy fight, and on a messy fight at the end of the map, it's the defense that most of the time wins. Let's see if that theory holds up. Pills taking out 2. Reaping taking Pills out of mech, but he can still kill perfectly. Divas are coming into play. Seems that the fight is still going. Garlic Bread on that Brigitte, and they find Desperados finally falling back.
You gotta say here that the Brigitte switch was a very smart play. It really helps you out against those Widows once they're entrenched in this map. But you got your own shield you can kind of hide behind, and you're also providing heals to your team. So good job on his part. Also, great job standing in the spawn there from Total War and from the Law.
Great. Bomb coming in, but it is shielded, but Total War still gets picked. Reaping getting 2, however, while Pills is throwing a bomb in the air. Resdo Pills bomb kills rest away. Baby Ultra goes for that Dragon Blade. Does get 2 before the Transcendence can get there. Perfectly. Getting Pills out of mech. That's just a cleanup job. And it seems that Desperados, despite investing everything that they had, besides that infrasight that just came up, still gonna lose the fight. Garlic Bread switching to that.
Yeah, they got the Brigitte out there now. The dive now Brigitte is not always great against dive, but in situations like this where there's not a lot of space for you to really maneuver around the payload, Brigitte is a monster. So great job switching on them.
Garlic Bread getting that opening pick, starting to build up ultimate charge towards that Shatter. I feel like the Shatter's going to bring them to the end of the map. Pills getting some energy off that bomb. That's all it did. D.Va is now in the backline with the Zen, forcing him to pop Transcendence. In the meantime, Totem Warrior killed Garlic Bread, and there it is, perfectly with the Shatter and perfectly going on a rampage. He did, in my opinion, he created more space on the Winston, but he's still doing great on this Reinhardt.
Oh yeah, he did get destroyed a little early there by Garlic Bread, and I expected the push to happen at that point, but I think Reaping kind of, the push to happen from the Desperados, but I think Reaping kind of dived in there on the Widow, and that kind of prevented a little bit of the pushing there. They turned on him, the bomb remeched him. Good job on his part for recovering from that.
Awesome bash, getting to stopping the Dragon Strike. Actually, it almost stopped the Dragon Strike. He was close. Valkyrie being popped from Livid, and if you look at the time bank, it's getting close here. Baby Ultra is going to switch to that Pharah. Wolfer switching to the Hanzo, seeing if they can get that grab Dragon Strike combo going.
It'll be an interesting thing on the corner here with this Pharah. There's no longer a Widowmaker they have to worry about, so it's an excellent read on their part. Gotta get that grab though. Pills is getting close.
I'm more worried about the Dragon Strike, but Awesome Bash taking out the Pharah. Pressure not necessarily known as a long-range hit scan. Reaping, killing the Garlic Bread. It is a 6v5, but now it's a 5v5. Pills picking off that over-aggressive Reinhardt.
Last chance here. They do have the Graviton on the Desperado side, so hopefully we'll see that come out here.
I think they're waiting for that Dragon Strike from Wolfer. They are on the payload. There's a Shatter Grab combo. Shatter is mostly blocked. Baby Ultra with the barrage. And there's the Shatter trying to clean up from perfectly, trying to save this fight. Wolfer getting two. It doesn't seem like it could be enough. This is a messy fight. It is a 3v2. It's a D.Va versus a tank in 2D. It's a Tracer. It's a stall. Let's see what they can do. Even if they get this, they still have to deal with the 2 minutes and 42 seconds from Livid.
Possible cleanup here, but that could be scary. Pills taking out a couple people there. Yeah, he's holding on. He's got his ult. He's got his charge up there. So you can already see he's already almost at another ult. But he's not gonna get a chance to use it. Ultimately, though, 12-second reses in overtime, not gonna be enough. Desperado gonna take the third point, but it's like you said, they got a 3-minute difference here. Gonna be tricky.
Pills was getting that energy and that. Pray for GG's, just wondering how they can do this. Desperados desperately searching for answers. They don't know if they want to play this out. And I wonder what adjustments we're going to see from Desperado. They only have a minute. So, in my opinion, they need a Wolfer to get this opening pick on Awesome Bash, and for Garlic Bread needs to make him some space. It seems.
Yeah, for sure. It's that's kind of what the problem was on pushing on the offense there. Garlic Bread was often getting the victory in the Reinhardt battle, but the push afterwards is a little bit slow. So I think the space was a little bit there, but Brigitte was kind of denying him the full-on push in, so he's getting killed a little bit early. So it's how they handle, if they get to the point of defense, how they handle the Brigitte will make a big difference. And I would also like to remind those watching this video, these are scrims, which means that sometimes scrims, they'll just end after the push from both sides. This time they're choosing to continue on.
And let's see Law getting a lot of ultimate charge. I don't know from where, just shooting at those tanks. Awesome Bash, not with his team necessarily, on the boxes. But it doesn't matter as his team do fall back. Awesome Bash is going to try and pick someone from tunnel, but Desperados are going on high ground. Garlic bread is desperately low. Wolford, that's what you needed. Baby Ultra, that is what you needed. Rez coming out, but I don't think it's gonna matter. They still got 2, and now it's a 6 versus 3. Desperado hasn't taken a casualty yet, and they're gonna take first point.
I think they're having trouble with the Pharaoh on Livid's side, because that's really, I mean, it was the change that happened at the end of the first point, the first push, and it's a change that happened now. One other thing to note is that once you get that Mercy res going, you are not healing during that time, and that's where those other 2 picks came from. So you save a penny, spend a dime.
That is 3 picks. This could be the end. That is 3 picks from Livid. Pills is able to get perfectly, and the sustain is there. Rum, pray for GG's Transcendence, but the Transcendence doesn't last forever. Wolfer and Garlic Bread trying to hop onto the point for any last second hope. They still haven't cleaned up Wolfer. Mercy hopping in, but that's just going to be the cleanup. Hardly past first point because Desperado extended so far forward trying to buy space.
Yeah, that's what it came down to. Is when you want to extend forward, you have to be in the right position to do so. Overtime sometimes is a great time to do that. You're giving those guys 12-second reses. It means you probably push point B to a 1 battle fight. But if they were staggered enough in such a way, or if they were able to get away because of that 12-second res and they're able to regroup, you got to be careful. And that's what happened there. They were able to regroup because they didn't have that bad spawn, or those who got killed early enough were able to get out. So keep that in mind, Desperado. Go for the stragglers, but those folks back behind the spaceship, those aren't stragglers anymore. Those guys are deadly.
Yeah, most of the time on Gibraltar is one of the worst maps, in my opinion, for getting staggered. The spawns are right in your face as the doors open. You can just, if there's only 1 or 2, just a lonely Zenyatta and Mercy that can't fight back, you can easily win the next team fight just based off of those 2 picks. But Desperado is what for more, like you said. And it seems that Baby Ultra is going to be on that Tracer trying to harass Awesome Bash. But Wolfer may not be able to take out Law on the Sphera by himself, considering that there is the Pharmacy combo. Let's see how it goes. First point in a little bit more.
Yep, this early Pharah play is going to make all the difference. I think both teams really trying this Pharah out, which I think is a good idea in a scrim. No Widowmaker, though, on defense, and Awesome getting that pick on Wolfer. He's just open to do that because there is no Widow.
And that's going to give the Pharah free reign. The only person that can possibly take him out is that Zenyatta. Awesome Bash getting another. Space is being very well bought by Reaping. And the pin comes in, demeching kills. Awesome Bash killing Baby Ultra that's on his back. Pills. Sorry, 1 kill's not going to be enough.
He is going to have a long run, but it also, the quick spawn here is actually going to make a little bit of difference. It's going to be a really short hold, though. That entrance, that exit's right there. This door isn't even going to close before this game's over.
13 meters. This is going to be close. They still have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Hammer Down's going to finish it. That's going to be the game.
Yeah, in most cases, you don't get that kind of hold. The overtime actually worked in the favor of Livid there, too. Because, again, they got those long reses and were able to regroup better from better positioning. Getting sent back to the second spawn instead of the first spawn. No stagger, no win. Whereas the stagger there, that's what your time bank advantage is for, right? It gives you that opportunity to get that regroup, and with the spawn advantage. So what is that? Does that tie it up?
That does tie it up. That does. It is 1-1. Desperado taking the first map, King's Row, which we did not stream, and Livid taking Gibraltar with the time bank. That's essentially with the time bank.
Yep, interested to see what's coming next. I like scrims, because scrims goes all over the place, There's hybrid payload. Might see multiple hybrid maps. We'll see. Do you know how long we're scheduled for?
Nope.
Until sleep hits us.
Yes. Until we decide to give up. But I think this should be like a best of 3, probably, or at least a best of 5. If they even play it that way, or they're just gonna play 4 maps. And we're moving on to Temple of Anubis. 2 CP. But hey, you gotta throw 2 CP in there somewhere. Although players do dislike the such close spawns.
Well, is 2 CP really any different than the end of Gibraltar? I mean, this spawn's pretty close too, right?
Yeah, I mean, any close to point in Gibraltar is really close.
There are other maps that are like that too, where the spawn is close even though it's a hybrid or a payload map. So, so this whole 2 CP hate, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, what the heck, community? Stop blaming it on 2 CP just because you lose 2 CP so much. Like,
yeah, but I mean, reality is you got to hold 2 CP a little longer than you got to hold the payload at the very end. So it's understandable a little bit, but you know, it's different types of maps. Stall is just a different play style that some people don't like, but some people really do like it. I mean, it's really out there for the Maze of the world. Reapers do great on 2 CP, closing it out and defending. So that's kind of where I see 2 CP falling. It changes the comps up a little bit.
Especially on Temple of Anubis with that treehouse strat, where you put the Orisa on top of that Widow perch and then you let your Widow reign free. I personally don't like the tree box, the original tree box, but it's evolved just so that it's spread out, because with the original tree box, tree house, I keep calling it a tree, it's a tree box, we're calling it a tree box. With the original tree box, you put all your eggs in one basket, something goes wrong, you lose the point. But with the evolved tree box, your Mercy can fly over to the other side of the point near that large health pack and high ground, and it works very well, but it does not seem like Livid. Is Livid on the defense? No, Livid is on the attack. It doesn't seem like Desperado are going to pull that strat, and I completely understand it. But they are still undecided with their tank line.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Solo tanking? No. Pills swapping over. Looks like it's going to be Orisa Hog. Pretty common comp here. One of the problems with the Orisa Hog, of course, yeah, there we go, Orisa Diva. That's what we like to see on this map, I think. You run the Orisa Diva because that high ground needs to get contested against the Widow. It gives you like a little bit of a, option, and that high ground isn't nearly as dangerous for dive like it usually is. So great idea here. I love seeing this particular matchup, the dive versus kind of this Orisa high ground diva defense. Let's take it away.
Especially on first point, you do want that diva. Wolfer is extremely low due to that Pharah spam already. Forced to fall back and not be able to get any opening shots off. Reaping does get out of mech. Awesome guy trying to get some shots off. Law does pick up Pray for GG's. That is a heal source gone. But Wolfer comes right back with it. Law getting 2, however. It's just Law and Wolfer right back at it. Low TQ is rezzed perfectly, topping on top of Pills. Not once, but twice. And is on the point, taking some aggressiveness, and Law takes out Wolfer. Law has been able to pick off 3 in this fight, and it's just a lone Orisa. The supports just respawn, and that's gonna be the fight. The Junkrat Widow doesn't have enough aerial damage.
Hell, it could, but I think your issue there was more the initial pick there on to Pray for GG's. Law had a very good angle there, able to take out that. I actually managed to catch it on camera. So good job on his part there, finding like a really weird opening.
Law is going to be flanking to this left side as his team pushes straight up the middle. Actually, they're all going straight up the middle. Awesome taking out Wolfer in that Widow 1v1. Law is on top of these supports, looping them into the open. Pray for GG's is gone. And he's on this Widow, forcing Wolfer to go back to spawn. Pills taking out low-key Q. That could end the push. Pills taking out the Law. Awesome Bash taking out Wolfer, but that's going to be too little too late.
Yeah, you know, ultimately that push just comes down to speed of execution. Really, it was a good push for them to just start building ultimates since they've kind of swapped onto this Ryan Zarya. I think they just need to find their time to get this Zarya ult. And I think Law might actually get 2 ults off here in that time, so I'd like to see if they can at least get a tick here with that Law ult.
Awesome Bash getting getting Baby Ultra and Pray for GG's right down to 1 health. Law popping into trade. Can't trade in 2 CP like we were talking about before this match. 2 CP, you need to get it all or you're not getting anything.
Oh man, gotta leave me something to talk about here. That push, I think Law was just throwing his ult out. Yeah, you see the swap on a Junkrat. That's what I was talking about. Get a better combo with the Zarya. Surprised not seeing Hanzo. I'm surprised we're not seeing Hanzo here, but Junkrat ult can be a lot better against Transcendence if both support ults are expected, and here you see them. However, will we see both support ults held for that long? I think that's going to be a tricky thing there too.
No, we will not, as both Valkyries are popped right at the beginning of the... Quick question, quick answer. Pray for GG's, and everyone really taking out perfectly as he goes in onto the point. Seems like a little bit of a miscommunication because he had no support from his team. Wolfer is getting close to that tack visor, and Soldier with his tack visor on this point is very deadly. Awesome Guy still trying to get some picks. I keep calling him Awesome Guy. I'm just gonna call him Awesome. Awesome keeps trying to get some picks. The Law trying to get some ult charge. Being damage boosted by that Mercy, but really he's just knocking down that shield.
A bit of a wait for a regroup here. Again, glad to see those Mercy ults go out. He knows that the Law had just swapped. It's going to take a little while. He might get a chance to. And the ult's not going to save them from the hammer, or the wheel, so.
Here comes the Riptire. Riptire going out. Pills is able to dive onto Awesome Bash, and Baby Ultra gets that Riptire. That should end the push there. Perfectly, it's going out without a fight. Neither is the Law. It is a 3v3 on the point. And Tack Visor just popped to clean up the solo Ryan. That is a questionable use from that Tack Visor.
A little bit of a panic there, I think, from Wolfer after they were kind of getting beat up there pretty badly. Awesome switching off to the Tracer now, which is pretty expected. It's kind of sometimes hard to get angles on certain heroes on this map with Widow, so that's probably a good read there. Gonna have to take a while to build up that ult charge if he wants to combo with this Zarya ult. Probably see that later in the match.
We may see just a bunch of junk bombs into that Zarya ult, but there will be that Transcendence there. But let's talk about this fight. And as we see, they're all diving into that back right corner, pushing that Junkrat Soldier back into spawn. They had no DPS on that point. Both Transcendences are popped onto point. The bomb is popped, Shatter's popped. Nothing seems to get anything done. And there it is, the Zarya Junkrat combo. You don't need to know, you just need a lot of explosives.
Yeah, caught the Pray for GG's got kind of caught out in the open there, had to pop his Transcendence just to survive. As a result, there really wasn't anything available there. So we didn't even have to see an ult come out from the Law to wipe him. As you said, you just need to throw a couple bombs into him. I think they would have survived, though, with that Transcendence long enough to at least have a little bit more contesting there. So, yeah, I'm not sure where Pray for GG's is actually going to stand in that case, though. So good job on Livid's side.
That was
that
amazing
Transcendence
on Livid's side. That is some... They knew that he had the Transcendence since he had not popped in a while. Focus him, get him to pop it, or die. Either one. And just go in, pop that. They knew that that was their win condition. Kill Zenyatta, and they win the game. And win the round.
And that's why I was also pointing out those support ults early. Even though the ult advantage appeared to be on the side of Desperados, ultimately, you know, when those support ults aren't going to be used for any period of time, it's like that Zenyatta ult didn't exist for a minute and a half to 2 minutes of that fight. So that's one thing to be careful of in these matchups here. He might have been able to pop it a lot earlier to make a more decisive win at some point, but I don't think there really was an opportunity there. I think that they had pretty decisive wins anyway, so it wasn't really a big factor, but it's something to think about when you're watching Ultimates.
And here we go. We're going to get a tree box strat that I was talking about earlier. This is the tree box strat that I was talking about. It is in a Reese on the high ground. With everyone up there with him. We'll see if they do the split tree box. The off tank on that left side so that they can have the Mercy fly to them if pressured so much there.
5, 4.
It's always fun running back from this one. You really need all the prep time to set this guy up. And that can be stressful when you're not really prepped as a Widowmaker to start shooting. But looks like we're opening up there with a pick on the Baby Ultra. And, you know, that shield's beautiful.
Awesome Bash doesn't need prep time. He just takes a pick on the Baby Ultra. It is res, but that just takes away time from that tie break. It seems that they're going to be running to this high ground, but they can't get that Zenyatta through the gate.
It's going to be hard. I mean, he's not going to really have a chance to get through the gate anymore anyway. What's interesting, another interesting strat you can run on this is to run a Pharah and knock those guys off the top. Try to knock that Orisa off, but oftentimes she's a little too immobile for that. But at least you can get the Zen off in that case. Something they might want to consider. They're not really making progress.
And it seems that they're trying to kill the two lone people on the right side or just force their way onto point and just try and build up some tankiness on point. Baby Ultra is able to dive onto the high ground, killing Loki. And it seems that he can get out with his life. It was close, but he does get out with his life. Total War does res Loki. Law getting Wolfer. It seems that this fight is going to go in Livid's way, but they will lose their tree box. But as I say that, Desperados, Baby Ultra, and Pray for GG's Garlic Bread, those three picking 5.
Right, it all came down to the beginning of that push. You got to give it to the supports on this one for the Desperados. One of the things that's interesting is, well, Oof. Oof. I like that name. Oof popping his Valkyrie there made a huge difference. Having that extra healing go through just basically gave them the sustainability they needed to hold on to that. Swap to the Moira here from low key though on the Livid side. I think that's a weird kind of pick.
As you talked about extra healing, there's the Moira. Pin coming in onto Garlic Bread, I think. Oh no, it was onto Pills. Perfectly taking out the tank line. And now he just has to surge back to point, cleaning up. The Widow is still on the high ground. Gets hit with a Fire Strike, however. Is at 100 health. Goes back to pick up the health pack and regroup with their team.
I don't think she's getting out of here. Probably wants to run in and die quicker. At this point, it's just a little bit of a stagger.
Come on, Oof, go fly in there. No, that's a bad idea. Don't listen to me. This is why I'm in plat. Baby Ultra does take out Law to equalize it, though. But as we were saying, with these two CP spawns, that's not going to matter.
I'm interested to see, you know, how well this Genji ult goes from Baby Ultra. There's no defensive ult to stop him. So, well, of course, they have the Mercy ult, but that's just not enough to stop the damage from Genji Blade. So, I think that's the key to winning here at this point.
I want to see if as soon as they pop that Dragon Blade, the tire gets popped. But it's the time. The Law is dead as he suicide bombs to take Oof. But Toad of War does get Law back. And it seems that that's just going to burn more time out of the time bank. But they still do have 2 minutes until they approach on.
And there's another D-Mech there onto, well, a D-Mech onto Pills. That's going to slow him down even more. And it's like you said, if you consider ults as kills, that's fine. But really, when you're on defense, ults are time. They're worth time. So that...
And Baby Ultra getting that opening pick and gonna hop in there with that blade. Like you said, Valk's not gonna be able to do anything. Hammer down and Dragon Strike popped. Able to get 2 off of those. Valk popped from both sides, able to res Baby Ultra. It's just 1. They still haven't lost anyone yet, however, yet they're still... Actually, they did lose Garlic Bread.
I think that was a little premature ultimate on his part. He knows that the other team does not have a defensive ult, and D.Va was still out of mech. I would have liked to see him just wait a little bit longer. As you can see, D.Va got back in mech relatively shortly after, so I think it's a missed opportunity there. Hopefully he gets his ult back really quickly.
And time is of the essence, especially in 2CP. You don't know how many chances you're going to get while building up that tire very quickly. Again, let's see if he can get another shot at this killing Garlic Bread, who's trying to dive him as the rest of his team comes in for the dive. And Baby Ultra can kill him. Wolfer kills Total. We're trying to res the wall. Awesome Bash going right back at Wolfer, avenging his mercy. And it seems that it's going to be a slow win for Livid.
Yeah, there's no real ultimate usage there from the side of Desperados. So it looks like they're going to be coming against a Zarya Hanzo ult. I think ultimates have decided this so far, and if they don't get ultimates in their favor here, if they don't pull out more ultimates than they're taking on the Desperado side, they're not going to push in here. They're just never going to get a tick. So get it together, guys. Baby Ultra, we need to see amazing blade here from you, and hopefully you don't end up in a grav.
There we go, Wolfer with the tire of his own. Let's see if he can match the walls of performance. Awesome Bash taking out Wolfer's tire. Baby Ultra is able to get two with his blade before getting fire strike. You gotta remember that Reaping and Awesome Bash still have their combo, but if they're not both alive at the same time, they can't pop it. And it seems that the Desperado is holding off this.
Eaten.
And it seems that Desperado is gonna just clean up, and it's gonna be, look at those times. It's not 2 minutes, it's 30 seconds now.
It's actually a great use of the ult from Baby Ultra there. He got his Genji blade on that Hanzo, and he managed to pick another, but he actually ended up not only just getting fire struck, but he actually ended up in the Junkrat trap from the Law. So that's why he went and got taken out. But because he got that Hanzo, it disabled the combo. So that's exactly what you need to do in that situation. And again, interesting to see them not running the Zenyatta there for that defensive ult, because I think if they had that instead, I think that would have been a different game. I think they would have actually full held in the long run.
And we're going to be moving on to the next map. Both teams don't want to play it.
Yeah, usually end up with a pretty short, a short defense on point A and a long full hold on point B. Not really the most exciting thing to watch in scrims.
Okay, we're going to be moving on to Lijiang. It is, we're just going to call it 1-1. Well, who had more time?
I think Desperados had more time. Or no, sorry, Livid did. They switched sides here on the red-blue. So, yeah.
Red-blue. So we're just going to say that Livid won that one. They did have more time in the time bank. We are going to be taking, it seems that Pray for GG's is going to take a
he's just taking a little break here. Let's So let's just change the subject here.
By the way,
do you want to? This is going to be your last one?
Yes, and they want sausage in, but we're not the host of this, so we don't have to worry about that. Go ahead. What is your topic?
Let's talk about Ana. Okay, are we going to see any Ana in the current meta?
No.
All right, that answers that question. Let's change the topic again.
No, let me explain. This Sword Orb is so valuable. And Ana Zen is one of the worst healing combinations, because neither of them have mobility. Okay, that's my reasoning. Go, next topic. Rapid fire.
What about Brigitte? I mean, Brigitte can help. Why don't we see that triple healer combo then?
That triple, because the thing is, with that triple healer combo, Ana still gets dived. And even though she doesn't get killed, the shield's in her face and she can't, it's still taking her out of the fight. The dive doesn't kill her, but it takes her out of the fight.
So how many shots in Ana's clip will she need to be balanced? Because they've upped it to 14. What if they up it to 40? Will she be played at that point?
No.
What about 100?
No.
Infinite ammo. Doesn't have to reload.
No. Sorry. Stop pulling diva. Casters are ready. Hold up. Hold up. Ready. Not W, not E. R. There we go. Okay. We are ready.
Yeah, we're good to go. We're just talking about Anna here, you know.
Okay.
Their suggestion on topic was World War One.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I don't think I'm talking about World War One.
Okay, so yeah, okay. What Anna
Trench
needs
warfare.
And what's not gonna happen. What Anna needs and what's not gonna happen is to be able to shoot their to be able to heal, at least heal their shields, and it's not gonna happen. That's the only thing she needs.
Maybe if she could grenade through shields, it would be good.
But no, if she could heal through shields, then the dive wouldn't be as effective against her.
Fair enough.
But, okay, Lijiang Tower doesn't exist in real life. Don't go to China and try and hop in a taxi and go to Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, not yet. It doesn't.
Not yet. Not yet. Next thing you know, you'll see in Overwatch. There won't be a tower. There'll be a stadium.
Whose building is this anyway? I know there's logos on the outside, but I don't remember whose building this is in the
Let's
lore.
check. I ain't got an idea. Let's look around.
Lijiang Tower, unnamed building, dropships coming in.
Space. There's like the space symbol. This is very unprofessional. We don't care. It's Scrim Night. Oh yeah, everything's in Chinese. How are we supposed to read the company name?
Huh? It's not in Chinese. That logo is not in Chinese. That logo's in picture.
That logo's in picture.
That's the language that I speak. Pictures.
Picture. Okay.
Simple grunts and gestures is my other language.
It's a triangle.
That one goes on my resume.
Okay, moving on. Okay, it's owned by someone. Okay, here we go. We are going to be seeing Law on that Torbjorn, running out of spawn on that Torbjorn. Let's see how this goes.
I don't know if he's going to get that turret out against this.
Does get that level 2 turret in the back line, but that turret is not in a very good positioning. Perfectly, he's getting harassed in the front line. Law is low in the back line. Healers have to make choices here. Law is 1 in the back line and gets picked off by Wolfer. Turret's not going to be able to do anything. Also, Bash does pick off Wolfer perfectly. The huge early shatter. That was insane. What was that? 20 seconds?
He got it fast. I mean, those fire strikes were just nailing all the players on the Livid side. It's quick ult built there. I honestly don't think the Torb had much impact in that fight. So I don't think we have to talk about it much, but now the follow-up is when you have Torb on King of the Hill, usually you don't capture the point because Torb can't get his turret down. But once you do, there is a turret now that they have to deal with there. So I'm interested to see just how effective this Torb hold is.
Once bad news for the Torb is this thing called Junkrat. But he's dead! Law kills him with his gun! And Loki's finishing it off perfectly. Already has another shatter. He is on fire. He's creating so much space and finishing everyone.
He's got all the heals on him too because he's the only guy taking any damage on this team right now. He's got both the Zenyatta Orb and the Mercy. Mercy ult popped there to try to, you know, clear a little bit of that cleave damage going around. Yeah, I don't think they have a chance to push in here if they don't go around and go up towards that turret.
Wolfer is on the flank. They all have that Brigida armor, but it can get stunned away. There is Garlic Bread in the backline shattering the support. Perfectly dies, you know it's over. Mullen cores pop. Let's see what you can do, Torb. And it's over. It's gone. And Torb is just sitting there building his turret. Now would be the time to jump off the map, I'm sorry to tell you. Or actually jump on the point, get some more percentage.
Yeah, I think they're sitting about 80. He's going to actually back off there, which is interesting. I think you're right, though. It's probably time to swap. And that's not the direction you really want to go.
Stay outside.
He actually...
Stay out.
Yep. Rip Torbjorn. Yeah, they're pushing forward here. This is another thing you can't do when you're running a Torbjorn. Push this far forward and actually hold this choke point here.
Stop throwing. Stop throwing, lol.
Yeah, what's going on here, man? Torbjorn. Well, now he's
Fuck you.
Now he's switching to I hate
Okay,
solo
we talked
queue,
about
yeah.
the solo queue mentality perfectly. Is mastering that solo queue mentality. Wolfer is getting that flank tire. He's gonna get 4. He got 3 because the Transcendence was popped to save no one but himself.
Yeah, it's not when you want to use the Transcendence, honestly. Points getting capped over, though. A little bit of extra
Back
percentage.
cap.
And remember, every tick you get here is 2%, basically, because you're stopping a percent from the other team and you're getting a percent for yourself. It's not, you know, it's obviously not technically that, but when you get these, like, little quick caps, that's what you gotta look at it as. They probably turn that into from a 2-fight situation to a 1-fight situation if they manage to recap it.
See, perfectly is holding the Shatter for a while, and he's gonna have no shield and free Shatter. Brigitte. Okay, Brigitte does have a shield. You know what? Awesome Bash just goes around and kills her. Because, hey, you block my Ryan's Shatter, watch out. And that's gonna be the fight.
I think he kind of hit the corner there, too, so he missed some of the other folks. But it might have been a Zarya bubble, too. I couldn't quite tell.
I did not have the angle.
Either way, yeah, great job on Law for opening that up. Doomfist can kind of come out of nowhere, punching Ryan into out of position there.
Perfectly. Getting prey for GG's. Shatter and grab at the same time. Everyone's stuck in one place, whether it's in the ground or in a black hole. Law getting a punch perfectly, getting a fire strike. Loki trying to keep everyone off the point with the whole hog. But, you know that Mercy and Valk is hard to hit, and that could be it. Wolfer getting those 2 with the Riptire could be enough. Law coming in with the Meteor Strike, killing prey for GG's, who slipped onto that Lucio to get that stall. Low-key going for Wolfer. Sausage getting that res, trying to keep everyone in the fight. Law gets killed by a Baby Ultra. Awesome Batch hopping back into the fight with that Pulse Bomb, trying to build up another. Also being popped everywhere. Grab is popped. Let's see what can happen. Baby Ultra and Pills get 2. This is so messy. Awesome Bash gets oof. Wolfer gets towed, and that's gonna be it.
I don't think they needed to use 2 grabs there. The first one was great, but Garlic Bread was kind of off on his own, swinging at nothing after a charge. So that grab, I think the first grab would have wiped him and would have been a lot less of a heart attack situation there. But, I mean, excellent job on the Mercy side, on Sausage Riot side for getting that Roit. Getting that res.
You got your Ana on the Livid. But we'll see if they can even touch point. A Lucio probably would have been a better, but they wanted to play that Ana so they could deny any healing with that nade or buff their own Rhine, because he is going to be taking a lot of shots on point. He kills Garlic Bread, who had the Shatter. It is going to be 2 ults on the side of Livid. This could be the end of the fight. Whole hog is popped after he killed the Brigade. Awesome Bash goes to kill Baby Ultra. Mercy's flying around in the air, trying to heal this Lucio, who is stalling. Lucio is still on the point, along with that Mercy. Now would be a great time to anti-heal. Shatter comes in, hitting only Loki, but, you know, he's got 600 health, and when it's only you, kind of hard. Brigitte coming in, can't get there.
It's interesting because once your Reinhardt goes down in a triple support comp, it's always very hard to recover. Reinhardt's almost your primary damage in that case, especially if you have a Junkrat. And a lot of times Junkrat shots, they get dodged on big points like that. So I think they just kind of ran out of damage when the Ryan went down, and at that point it was just a slow and steady victory for the Livid side there. Interesting choices on those heroes. Seemed to work out for them.
You got your Ana.
Yeah, you know, it's almost like I foresaw the future.
Don't give yourself too much credit. But Law is going to be on that fair like we saw before with that pharmacy combo. They're going to have that Roadhog and Lucio. Let's see if they can get some boops off the map. Some of those sweet, sweet environmental kills. Farah's coming out on both sides. Let's see what the air duel. Livid stepping onto point, hooking that Reinhardt, but the Zarya bubble is there, beating some energy. Sausage is killed in the air by Baby Ultra. Law getting back at Baby Ultra. You don't want to kill that man's pocket, Mercy. Garlic Bread killing the out of position Loki. Pray for GG's, finishing off perfectly with the boop. Awesome Bash doing what he can to stall and stop as much percentage from happening as he can. Garlic Bread finishing him off. Should be it, as Stagger just from 2 supports in the fire coming in. they should try and get out of there.
Yeah, I think Toad got a little bit anxious there. Probably needed to run a little bit away. Ultimately, though, what that came down to is Mercy positioning. What's interesting is that early Mercy pick pretty much costing them a lot of stuff there. So let's continue to watch this Pharah battle, see how much it impacts the game.
Baby Ultra continues to get these one-on-one Pharah wins. As you were saying, it's impacting the game as much as it is. Awesome Bash trying to get some snipes in here against the Wolfer. As he walks out, Wolfer just walks towards the spawn and just casually walks up and headshots Awesome Bash. That's awesome for Wolfer, but he might not get away with that every time. As you can, the ball, Toad, both getting some kills. Sound barrier popped by Prey for GG's, and Shatter coming out from perfectly is able to kill that Lucio off the Shatter. Ball is getting res. Mercy trying to keep everyone up with that. Val, sound barrier against the lone Pharah may have been unnecessary, but it was popped.
Yeah, I don't know about that one there. I think Toad's a little off his game at the moment. He was doing extremely well on that Zenyatta, but he's getting a little confused on the Lucio here. So trying to take this 1v1 on Hanzo too. Not sure about that.
Law is getting destroyed right now. Right for GG's, as we said, finishing off Toad. Dragon Strike missing the... But it doesn't matter, as the cleanup is there from Desperados.
Yeah, I think there's a little miscommunication on whether or not they were pushing up at that point.
There for the back cap. Nope. Has to go away.
No, not this time. I'm interested to see, again, this Pharah battle kind of going off in the middle of nowhere. I don't think Pharah battle had much impact that time, though. I think, again, communication. Got to figure out where you're pushing in, when you're kind of holding the point.
Now, how we were talking about that solo queue mentality, Toad is definitely playing with that, being on his own, and he was with his team in that point, but Baby Ultra can get him. Awesome Bash on that McCree, kills the Pharah, Garlic Bread and Wolfer. Don't want it to be the end. Shatter coming out from Garlic Bread, disrupting that whole hog. Awesome Bash, popping off, killing. Oof, kills, getting right back at Awesome Bash. That's what Offtake's supposed to do, protect their healers. And that was Desperado. That was a clean win.
I think a lot of that had to do with composition, too. Running Rhine Roadhog isn't exactly the wipe 'em up strategy you want. I'm actually not sure what the plan there was on the Roadhog. I don't think he had much impact. His only whole hog got hammered down. So, again, I kind of like to see something different there. Figure it out, you know. On this map, dive. Or Ryan Zarya, that's fine too. Either one.
Dive still exists. Brigitte is in the game, yes, but Dive still can exist.
5,
They didn't delete Winston and Diva from the game, they added Brigitte.
1.
And we're gonna see
Three.
Livid,
An objective.
question mark. But hey, it's a scrim, do whatever you want.
Yeah, not sure how to make what to make of this one. I don't even know where to begin. They're pushing in on the back of the point with their Bastion, trying to set up a flank there.
Let's see how the Bastion will work. We didn't see, we think we'd see an Ana. When we saw the Bastion, Desperado taking advantage, getting 3. Awesome Bash seems to be the only one that's trying for the team. But you know, Sausage is on his mercy. Perfectly does switch back to that Reinhardt. Toad should be switching back to his Lucio or Zen. Nope, they're gonna have Loki switch to the Brigitte.
A feeling Diva's jumping in on the side of Desperados here, saying, "I have a feeling you're not taking me seriously."
Those just fell off the map by accident, and we're just gonna ignore that ever happened. But Livid isn't gonna ignore that, and they're gonna take the chance to. Although Prep GG's does get the kill on Sausage, talking about Loki, he's getting 2. Awesome Bash finishing off that. No, Toad of War getting some stuff done on that Bastion. Loki finishing off Wolfer.
I can get a good angle on that Bastion, but Bastion is an interesting choice in any situation because he zones out areas, especially against these teams that don't have, really long-range heroes. We have Pharah, and we have Hanzo, but the angles that they have to take to get to the Bastion kind of get weird. So, I don't know.
Awesome Bash with that super high charge is able to take all Pray for GG's with a grenade. Baby Ultra knocking off Awesome Bash with his high charge. Bastion is able to get a flank kill. Garlic Bread taking out Loki close to her rally, actually. That could be huge in the ultimate game. Pray for GG's taking out Toad while popping that ult just to get Pray for GG's. That was kind of a desperation ult, as it comes right back in their face. Garlic Bread winning that tank lineup. Ult economy is huge now.
Not a lot of impact from the Bastion on that one. He did get the cheeky sneak there and kill on Wolfer, but that's just not enough. You got to have a little more. You're not very mobile in Bastion. I think Bastion's kind of they got to swap off him if they want to win this.
Roll pick. But he does have his ult. Let's see. I want to see the combo. I want to see the Zarya tank.
On the plus side, Bastion is kind of a hit scan, so.
Yeah. What do you mean kind of? He is a hit scan. While taking out Garlic Bread, who did have his ult lining up the perfect ult perfectly. But Wolfer.
That's 6.
Wolfer's not gonna allow that.
That's 6.
He gets the 6K.
Yeah. Well, what do you expect? I don't know. I expected nothing, and I'm still disappointed in that push.
Toad of War did pop his tank mode ult, and Ben just switches, trying to get back. Grab his pop, keeping them off point, except that Toad of War can get there. And perfect, there's 3 of them on point. It is a 3-4 versus 2 now. It was much worse than that. But let's see what they can do. It's just the Hanzo Mercy. Pharaoh Reinhardt's into 4-on-4. There's more people here than I thought there were. And that seems like it's going to be the one fight for Livid.
Now, it looks like their comp is a little bit more serious now. So, kind of glad to see that, though. We'll have to see if ultimately if the Zarya can get another ult here in time. I'm not sure Pills is really going to have the time, so
we'll see. It's going to be the Graviton battle, and the ult economy is slightly favored of Livid. If they can get that shatter off, if they can get at least 2 in that shatter, which they do not, and they could have won the fight, but they can still win it now because they do not perfectly get Garlic Bread. Lucio just wall riding in circles around that center pole. Low-key, low-key. It's all blue in the kill feed. It looks like a Smurfs village in here. Hey, Wolfer getting 3 with that combo, but the res... Mercy went for a res, didn't get one, doesn't matter.
Guess that makes perfectly Papa Smurf, doesn't it?
Perfectly Papa Smurf. Baby Ultra getting 1 on Awesome. Garlic Bread gets res. This could be the turning point. Perfectly and Baby Ultra trade respectively. Garlic Bread gets another. This could go right back to Desperados. Garlic Bread and Loki keep trading back and forth. Garlic Bread is popping. Popping off louder than popcorn. Overtime runs out. Desperados win. That is going to be the scrim.
Interesting game.
Interesting to say the least.
I think maybe they Livid there is playing to the fans at that point. There's that quad sextuple kill. Bastion's ult. It doesn't give you 100% damage reduction, so.
Not anymore. Remember those good old days.
I don't even know how to describe that. I think if they took the game a little bit more seriously at the beginning, they probably would have won. So, but yeah, it looks like we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. So good game there from Desperado and Livid. Glad to see and have that opportunity to cast. Let's shout out some of our social media here for those just joining. I'm HXZ9. You're watching on my Twitch channel, so hit the follow button. You can even subscribe to me. I'm not gonna make you do that. Twitter as well. I often tweet out when I'm going live. Of course, for some reason I didn't tweet this one out. And I'm joined here by the ever so popular
Sunhawk that doesn't have any social media. That's right.
All right, Sunhawk, who you can find on my channel every now and then.
Yeah. You just follow this channel and you'll find me. Don't worry, we'll be doing.
Yep, and the VOD will be going out for this in 24 hours per Twitch's rules, so we'll see you on YouTube at that point. And thanks for watching. See you next time.